Greetings. So today we just uploaded the female 3D t-shirt starter kit. After you download and extract the zip folder, you'll have these files on your computer. The resources folder contains Simple Bake. This is a really critical component. If you've watched the other tutorials, you already know how to use this. If you have not watched those tutorials, I am also including a link to a clarification on Simple Bake in the description of this video as well. Textures, these are the files that we're actually going to use today in our tutorial. And you can use these as a guide for making your own textures. It's completely up to you. And GLBs is where I'm going to put the GLB that we make today in this video so that you just have it as a reference. So in order to do this tutorial, you basically just double click on the Blender file. You have 3 different shirts that are available. Now, when you first open up, you're going to see this black shirt with no textures on it. If I hide this shirt over here in our scene collection, I can hide this by hitting the little eyeball. If I come down to the female 2, you see we have a white shirt with a logo on the front and the back. This one, so just showing real quick the different layouts or the different designs of the shirt. So this one has full sleeves. This one has no sleeves but full shoulders. This one has shaved shoulders, no sleeves. We're only going to be working on the full sleeve shirt in this video, but everything that we do on this one also applies to the other 2. And remember, if you ever have any questions, all you have to do is log on to humaheight.club and submit a support ticket. Someone from our team will respond as soon as possible with answers to help keep you moving forward. So let's begin. So before I make any edits to this, I'm going to prepare my texture. I'm going to use Photoshop for preparing my texture, but you can use whatever image editing graphics software that you want. What's important is that you make a square. Now this square can be as big or as small as you'd like to make it. I recommend making it 1080 by 1080. If you want to make it smaller, maybe make it 512 by 512. I probably wouldn't go no larger than 1080 by 1080, but it's completely up to you. So now we have a square. The reason why it's important for it to be a square is because once we bring it into Blender and we want to scale it up and down, scale happens with height and width at the same time. So it happens proportionately. And so we want the height to width ratio to be maintained when we scale up and down. So in order to confirm this, we start off by making it a complete square. That way, when it scales up, it automatically will maintain its height to width ratio. So inside of my canvas, I'm just going to place a picture, a logo. So here we go. I've got this. I've got the slogan here. I'm just going to export this. So I have it as a square and ready for our texture. Next, I'm going to make a logo. And I'll export it. So now we have our logos or our textures in a complete square. So now let's get started designing this shirt. So first of all, the shirt is black. I want it to be white. So if you notice over here, so first of all, make sure that you have the shirt selected, and then make sure that you are on the material properties panel. And you will notice that you have 3 different materials. You've got base color, front material, back material. So for base color, I'm just going to select base color. This is the color of the whole shirt, okay? So I'll just select base color, go to hex, and I'm going to make it white. So when I make base color white, you'll notice that the sleeves, the neck, and the waist trim are all turned white. Now I'm going to go to front material, and then I'll go to base color and change it white. So now we've got the front, but the back is still black. So we go to back material, base color, change it white. So now we have a full white shirt. So now let's apply our textures. I'll select front material and come over to our shader editor. And first of all, show you a couple different things about these nodes. First of all, you'll notice that while I've got front material selected, the UV map has front. If we come here under our object data properties, you'll want to make sure while working with the UV map for front that you select front. While working with the UV map for back, you'll want to make sure that you select back. So in this case, we've got front material, and we've got our image texture right here, our image texture node. So we'll just go ahead and hit open, and I'm just going to navigate, and I'm going to select this texture for the slogan. And here we have it right here on the shirt. That's actually a good spot for it. But let's imagine we want to adjust it. So now I'll hit the drop down over here and select UV editor. Make sure that we go into edit mode and make sure that we have front selected. And when we press S, we get our scaler. And you see how I can make this as large or as small as I want. And so there we have it. If I want to move it somewhere, hit the G, we can move it around. And you can move it anywhere you want along this front defined area. So if I remember, you have to select A. You have to hit A in order to select all. And then you hit the S to scale it up and down, make it bigger and smaller. And you hit the G in order to drag it. And so if I wanted to put it all the way down here at the bottom, I could. We switch over into object mode, you can see it right there. But I'm going to put it back up at the top. Let's put it right here. There we go. Let's put it right there. All right. So there we go. We have it right there. Now let's put something on the back. Let's put a Humai logo on the back. So first of all, we'll switch back over to our material properties, select back material. Let's first start off by going to the shader editor. Remember, we have this UV map node set at back. So we want to make sure that we select back over here. And here in our image texture, we'll hit open, textures, and I'm just going to select the blue AI. And you notice that it automatically pops up there. So now all we have to do is come to our UV editor. We want to make sure we're in edit mode. Let's select, make sure back is selected, and here we go. Scale it, grab. There we go. So now we have Humai on the back, exploring, learning, and creating on the front. Once again, like if we wanted to put this down further, put it down here, put it all the way down here. In fact, I think I like it better down there. So now we've got Humai down here on the bottom, exploring, learning, and creating in the top. And so to bake, we just go here to the render properties, scroll down, and you will see the simple bake. Everything is already set. You don't have to do anything other than make sure that you've got the shirt selected that you want to work on. Make sure that's selected and then click add. Scroll down, leave everything the way it is, and hit the bake button. Once that's finished, it'll turn back gray. And then at that point, just go ahead and hide the shirt that you're working on. Remember, these same steps are for all of the shirts. So I'm just going to select the simple bakes, come under File, Import, FBX. Make sure that you select FBX. And you'll notice that you have a folder in here already created. Just go ahead and click in there, and select the file. This file will be whatever shirt you actually are working on. And then go ahead and import, and you will see that it is just like we made it. Everything is now baked into the shirt. It's one solid thing. And so now we'll just go ahead and go under File, Export, GLTF, and I'm just going to put this inside the GLBs folder, and I'm just going to name this and these will all be set from this tutorial that I'm making, so you won't have to do this, but just confirm that you've got limit to selected objects checked. That way we make sure that the object that we've got selected is what's going to be exported. And the remember export settings, since I'm checking that, if you open up this file, you're not going to have to worry about hitting that button. And so now that has been exported, we'll look inside of the GLBs folder, and this is going to be the file that's in here for you. If I double click on that, you see this is the shirt we just created. Remember, if you have any questions, come over to humai.club, click submit a ticket,